On Tuesday, the Senate convened to discuss the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, a pivotal legislative initiative designed to enhance the nation's financial stability amid the challenges posed by climate change. The debate revealed sharply contrasting views on the fund's implications for economic growth and governance. Independent Senator D. Lee underscored the global significance of a sovereign wealth fund, with the specter of climate funding, particularly mitigation, looming large.
The purpose of the fund is to support investments in climate adaptation and to assist in resilience in the face of climate change and climate events. And so therefore, the first two purposes of the bill are: one, to increase savings to build national resilience in accordance with the climate change adaptation policy. And I wish to pause again to recognize that this bill does not exist in a vacuum. It is part of a concerted effort, I believe, by the government to identify climate change, the weaknesses created by climate change, and to address those vulnerabilities. And so reference is made to the Climate Change Act, which I believe we passed last year.
In contrast, leader of opposition business, Senator Dominic Fede, who championed the Alain Chasny administration's precursor draft version of the law from 2017, raised concerns about governance and the fund's viability based on the island's historical fiscal record. The UWP argues that an investor-driven, incentivized CIP National Economic Fund should have primacy and suffice where a proposed wealth fund is concerned. But the SLP believes in standalone legislation for a full-fledged SWF to avoid ambiguity.
I want to say this. The only way St. Lucia can successfully implement, we might pass the law, Madam President. We might come here, sing Kumbaya, and pass the law. That's easy to do. We've seen many bills pass in this House, but the implementation is bad. And one of the reasons why we have primary surpluses in the book is because the government has fallen short of implementation on their capital side. Look at what they've budgeted and look at what the actuals are for capital. They are slow on implementation, and their record of implementing is very, very poor. So, Madam President, I don't really have much confidence that this administration can successfully implement a sovereign wealth fund.
Senator Alison Jur countered this skepticism, arguing against the perception of inadequate governance safeguards and the supposed superiority of previous UWP legislative policy.
When I looked at a draft which was dated 2017, custodian latte had name under draft la. There was already a name of a custodian in the 2017 draft. So there is already a selection of a custodian in the minds of the people before. But in this case, the custodian is going to be determined by the Cabinet of Ministers. So that is extremely clear, and it is aligned directly with the Santiago Principles. The other element of uniqueness, and I find very sound and very strict, is at section 42 and 43, where customarily the accounts of the fund must be audited. But, Madam President, there is one line in section 43(4), which says, notwithstanding this section, the board shall submit to the minister a forensic audit every 3 years.
The bill passed the Senate, but the debate unfolded along partisan lines, with the opposition questioning the government's fiscal discipline, while the incumbents stressed the necessity of sustainable development through prudent savings and timely spending on priorities, all within the context of complexities of managing public resources in a vulnerable small island state.